Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Happy Sunday afternoon, Dooger. Make sure to tell me if the music is too loud or not loud enough. Hold on, I'm going to move a thing from the background so people don't meme on it for 2 weeks. There we go. That doesn't sound like us. Us? Goof? Never. Hi, gang. Welcome. I hope you're all doing good. Happy MeeMaw Day. Thank you so much. Music volume's good. Great, we crushed it. I'm so glad. Hold on, I'm gonna pop you out. Are you ready? Hold on tight, okay? Ooh, I hope that didn't hurt too much. There we go. Hold on. Alrighty. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. It's my last stream. It's my last stream before we go out of town. Because Sam Clarkey and I decided to have a family day tomorrow. Yeah, the UK has it on a different day. Don't worry about it. Because Sam was like, oh, you should make sure to bring your mom something for Mother's Day. And I was like, it won't be Mother's Day there yet. No, she's graduating. No. For 2 weeks. And then they're going to make me go back to school. Streaming on Mother's Day, you should be getting waited on. My kid and I are going to make a carrot cake when I'm done with stream. It should be very fun. I told Sam not to get me flowers. Normally flowers is like a very typical Mother's Day thing. And I was like, I'm not going to be here. So unless you want flowers to be sitting in our house dying, because he won't remember that they're there. Unless you want flowers in our house dying, don't. I want a nice meal and I want to hang out with my family. It's fine. Carrot cake, one of my faves. Clark's come around on carrot cake as well, so it's a pretty solid choice for us. Do I see puppy fur on you? Always. Oh my god, you can't even, I don't think on camera, see how bad it is. It's really bad. But I've been trying to use since Peach is in recovery, right? We're what, a month post-op now? Since Peach is in recovery, I've been trying to use this opportunity where she had, 1 to 2 weeks where she was barely moving around. I was like, this is the perfect time to get her really used to being brushed because her undercoat is coming out and it's crazy and she hates to be brushed. So I was like, I'm going to try to normalize just brushing every single day while we're, in this post-op process. And it's made a huge difference. I think she really enjoys it now. But dude, the hair is everywhere. Yeah, it did work. It totally worked. It's very normal for her now. She's still, a puppy. She still wiggles around. She still, is she doesn't want to just lay there and let me brush her. But it's not like, don't you fucking touch me with that thing, which is the level we were at before. So this is night and day, honestly. I sit down with the brush. She comes over She doesn't run away from me. She comes to me. She lets me brush her a little bit. And we're good. I needed to do something though, because she started developing mats behind her ears, and I was like, we can't be like, that's not good for her, right? Like we gotta do something about this. So fortunately, because of this, I've been able to get out all but one of the mats behind her ears just by brushing them out. So I'm gonna try to knock out that last one before I leave, and then she can get those premium behind the ear scritchies. Yeah, it's no. Hold on. Is my phone alive? It can be. Let me turn it on. I have a picture. I have a picture I can show you of how much hair comes out of this dog every single day. You're gonna think I'm goofing, but I'm not. Any of you who have like a fluffy undercoat dog. Dude. But this picture I think is so funny. Come on. Thank you. Where is it? Here it is. She's like, stop! That's enough! Look at all that fucking hair. Every day. Because like some of it releases, but it doesn't all release at the same time. So you just like wait. And she really, she needs to go to the groomer, but she can't right now. She had surgery, right? So I'm like, I made a list. I've been talking about doing this for me for a while, but us going out of town sort of like gave me the push to do it. I made a list that is like animal tasks, basically. And it's things to do every morning, things to do every evening, and then it's things you do on Wednesdays, things you do on Saturdays. So basically like you do these things every day, you do these things twice a week, right? And I don't remember where I was going with that. But I printed the whole thing out and realized that I hadn't put brush the dog on there. And I was like, I feel like I need to. Mm-hmm. She's been to a groomer twice. Because dogs have like a puppy coat and then they're like normal coat comes in, I guess. So we brought her in to like get her used to it, and they were like, yeah, she should come in a couple of times while she still has her puppy coat, and then it'll just be twice a year after that, basically when the undercoat is being crazy, right? And then they blow the whole thing out, which would be a lot quicker. But again, I think with the sort of dog we have, she just needs to get used to being brushed, doesn't she? So it's fine. It's fine. I'm just glad that she's getting chill about it. Oh my God. Also, Clark and I have had we're in like a tinker zone this weekend. I was going to say the animal list I laminated, and I hadn't used the laminator in a long time. And it was jammed. And I was like, jammed? With what? Clearly, at some point I had done something with it and been like, it's not working. I don't know. And so I was like, all right, I guess I'm just going to open it up. Because I looked it up. Like, how do I unjam a laminator? And a lot of it was like, use the reverse button. Like, what fucking reverse button? There's no reverse button on this thing. Clearly, I bought, you know, the cheapest laminator possible because I was like, I don't know how much I'm going to use this. Sir Chunks, thank you so much for the gifted subs. Welcome to the cat gang, buddy. I appreciate it. Yeah, so I looked on the bottom side and there were just a bunch of screws and I was like, I guess I'm just gonna open it. So I opened it up and it was a pain in the ass, but the feeling of taking the whole thing apart, finding what was wrong, pulling it out, putting the whole thing back together and having it work better than I remember it working before. Shut up. I was so happy with myself. And then Clark has a music box that she's had since she was like a baby. It's one of those little like jewelry box sort of things with like a little ballerina, and the ballerina spins. It hasn't worked for a long time, but Clark found the key, like the twister. I was like, oh, that's probably what was wrong with it. Screwed it on there, twisted it, and you can hear it winding, but the thing wouldn't play. The actual music box was housed like inside, like underneath layers of shit, right? And Clark was like, I don't know what's wrong. I was like, me neither, but if we're going to find out what's wrong, we're going to have to cut this thing open. And I felt like that was the safest way to be like, it's yours. So you decide. It's yours, right? You decide if you want to cut it open or not. And Clark was like, well, I mean, there's a bend here. There's like a natural bend. So let's just cut along the bend. And then, assuming we fix it, we can just fold it back in and glue it and it'll look the same. I was like, it will. Smart thinking. So we popped this thing open. Clark and I watched, I want to say, 4 different videos about how to fix music boxes. We looked at a bunch of diagrams. And in the end, there was a video. There's a guy who makes like engineering videos, and he basically made like a historical deep dive on music boxes and how modern music boxes work. And we were like, let's just watch this and see if it's helpful, because everything we were trying was not working, right? And he said something in the video where we were like, wait, that's got to be it. That's got to be what's wrong. Basically, the like, I can't remember what they're called, but the shaft attached to the key is supposed to lock into a like a big watch band that gets housed in a little plastic thing. And in some of them, you can open that plastic thing up, and in other ones, it's just sealed. Ours was sealed. So we were like, clearly there's something wrong in there, but we can't see it, so we don't know what it is. And he was like, yeah, at the end of these things, there's always a little opening, and it like attaches to the like winding rod. And we were like, oh my God, it must have gotten detached. So what do we do? So literally we just yanked the entire watch band out and just kind of like wiggled everything until it felt like they were reattached, and then wound it back in, closed the whole thing up, and it worked again. We felt so fucking cool. Clark was like, this hasn't worked for like 2 years. I was like, I know. Amazing. So yeah, feels good, man. We fixed a couple of things this weekend. I was really surprised that she committed as long as she did, because I was like, man, it's taking a really long time to figure out how to fix this. But she was locked in, like, no, this is our project right now. We're going to fix this. It was great. And now we both know that there's a little winding bit that tells the music box at what pace to play the music, and it's called the governor. And she thought that was really funny. She thought it was funny enough that I'll probably remember it for the rest of my life. Yeah, the governor. It governs the pace of the music, I guess. Yeah, it feels great. I also believe really strongly that the more stuff that you fix, the less scary it is to fix other things. Because you're like, well, I mean, I opened that shit up. How bad could it be? And sometimes you're wrong and you open something up like my sewing machine. I opened up my old sewing machine when the whole like engine blew up inside of it. And I was like, how bad could it be? Bad is the answer. I've never been able to get that thing to piece back together. If it's already broken, how much worse could it get? Yeah. If there's a part of you that's like, it didn't cost that much, I might as well get a new one, then you might as well pop it open and see if you can just fix it, right? If you already wrote it off. Yes, that's the big thing. And that was my thing with the oh, it's a dog. One of the dogs has a squeaky toy outside. And I was like, what the fuck was that? That was my thing with the laminator. As I was taking out screws and I was like, I have to remember where these go. I have to remember which screws go where, because otherwise I'm really going to fuck myself. And sometimes you get pleasantly surprised and the fix is so simple. Our dishwasher wasn't working for a while. And by not working, I mean that there was something that was getting in the way of the door closing. The door just would not close. And I took everything out, put everything back in, checked everything that I could, and for some reason the door just would not close. And the reason was, and I didn't realize this until I like stared at it for a while, the reason was that, for those of you who don't know, top racks on dishwashers typically have 2 levels that they can be at. So they can be raised up a little bit, and then shorter stuff has to go up top, but taller stuff can go on bottom, or it can be lowered, and taller stuff can go up top, but not quite as tall of stuff can go on the bottom, right? At some point, one side was lowered and one side stayed up, and so it made it so the entire thing literally wouldn't close. And it was so subtle that I didn't notice it until I was like, what the fuck is wrong with the dishwasher? I was so pissed. I was like, I will hand wash. I don't want to, though. You know, like, please. Been there. Yeah. Because sometimes it just like slips. One side will just slip down. But at the time, it was not something that I thought to look for, you know? We need a taking notes emote. I agree. I didn't know about that feature in dishwashers until like 2 years ago. I don't think people don't really talk about it. Normally, I feel like, because my mom never adjusted the top rack, ever. My mom's going to watch this and be like, I did all the time, you just didn't know. But I don't remember that ever happening with our dishwasher, right? And they pretty much by standard have 2 settings on the top rack. But I think most of the time people just like have a setting and then they get used to understanding what can fit where. And so they just don't adjust stuff. They're like, oh, this is a really tall, weird cup, so it's going on the bottom because it doesn't fit on the top. Even though you could lower it, right? Like stuff like that. You just have a setting and you leave it there. This reminds me of the toaster tray. Yeah, did you know that your toaster has a crumb catcher? If you didn't, you should go find it. It'll be along the bottom. It might be really subtle. There'll be a little outline for a thing that you can reach underneath the toaster and pull out, and it'll have caught crumbs of maybe years of toast. Joke's on you, I don't use my toaster. God, what's that like? I never used my toaster And then I wound up with 2 beloved family members that want toast every single day. I used to have a toaster for ceremonial purposes, right? Like just in case on the offhand that I want toast. And now it's by far our most used appliance. Yeah. Is it a basic toaster or a mini oven? No, it's not one of those like you open it up like a tiny oven and put the toast in. It's a toaster. It's just a normal toaster. My toaster before being with Sam could take 2 pieces of bread. We've now graduated. We have a toaster that takes 4 pieces of bread at a time. And yes, it is necessary. Four, I know. That's streamer money, dude. That's old toaster money. Have you acclimated to drinking tea? I drink more tea than anyone else in Sam's family. Sam's dad doesn't drink it. His mom doesn't drink it. His sisters don't drink it. His brothers don't drink it. Correction. One of his brothers drinks green tea sometimes. The English tea stereotype does not exist here. Wrong family. Hi, gang. Anything's a toaster if you use it wrong enough. What a statement. What a statement. Wow. We started watching Culinary Class Wars, by the way, which sounds like an anime, but it isn't. It's a Korean reality cooking show competition. It's good. It's really fun. I think it got bigged up maybe a bit too much. A lot of people were like, holy shit, the storytelling in Culinary Class Wars is next level. It's incredible. And we're watching it. Maybe I just haven't gotten there yet, but we're watching it. We're on like episode 5 or something. And we're both like, yeah, this is really fun. The idea of it is that it's 20 like very celebrated chefs, so like people who have Michelin stars, people who have won like countless competitions or are lauded in some way, and then 20 still chefs but like not quite on the same level, right? So it'll be people that have like their own little business in a town somewhere, or, you know, are like working at a really nice restaurant but aren't, you know, one of the head chefs or anything like that. And they compete. That's the class war, right? So they go head to head with each other. What was your biggest challenge moving from America to England? As an immigrant in San Francisco, my easiest choice for leaving is moving to London, keeping my job. So I'm personally scared of all the clouds. I'm trying to understand. So you are you're from San Francisco or you moved to San Francisco from somewhere else and you're then thinking about moving to England. So it would be your second like move. I moved from Toronto. I see. Okay. I've talked about this a decent amount, so I won't linger on it for too long. But definitely the hardest thing for me has just been like learning how to talk to people. It's very similar with like a person in West Coast America learning how to talk to people in East Coast America. It's just like the rhythm of conversation is different. The way that people like interact and ask each other questions is different. Yeah, I've had a really hard time. Not to big myself up too much, but in America, I could talk to anybody, dude. Like, I had no problem talking to people whatsoever in America. It was very easy for me. I liked talking to people. And here, I feel like I am always the most awkward person to talk to. Always. Every conversation that I have with somebody, it feels like I'm the one fucking up this conversation. It's me. I'm the problem. And you know what sucks? You know what makes that hard? Is that I think that happened to a lot of people post-COVID. Or post-lockdown, however you want to think about it, right? I think a lot of people struggled with like interpersonal dynamics, and chatting with people and things like that. So I can't tell if this is just me having gotten really used to not interacting with people very much in person, or if it's that interactions here are just very different, or if it's both. I can't tell. But I do know that when I go back to America, it's easy again. I can talk with anybody. So yeah. So I think depending on the type of person you are, you might love how people interact here, or you might hate it. I've lived down south. It's quite odd. Telly, do you feel like as somebody who has interacted face to face with me multiple times now, do you feel that I would get along with people better if I moved more north? I'm really curious about this. 100%. Fuck. I'm in the wrong area. That's the answer. Damn. Time to move. I'm gonna be like, Sam, I'm in the wrong spot. I fucked up. Okay. I know we just bought this beautiful farm. We've worked very hard on it. But Sam, we're selling the farm. I can't even joke about that with him. Like, yeah, I wouldn't even joke about that with him, bro. Oh my God. As someone from the north, I struggle in London. I can't handle being there. I said this was my dream home. Maybe I just need to start taking more trips up north. Maybe that would help a lot. Or maybe we just need to pick up the house and plop it somewhere else. We could do that. Southerners are a very different vibe. Up in the Midlands and Northerners, we're just chiller and weirder and odd. Yeah, just get another house. Just need a little holiday home in the north, preferably the northeast side for no reason in particular. Yeah, because I was saying before, right? Like, oh man, okay. Sorry, I started like 4 different thoughts all at the same time. I was literally thinking to myself yesterday, man, I really miss going on the dog walks. Peach can't do the dog walks right now because of the operation, right? So I haven't been able to go on my little dog walks and see my little old man. There's a little old man who always walks his dog at the same time that I walk Peach. And I love him, and he knows the names of all of the dogs that get walked in the morning. He loves them all. He gives them all treats. He always asks, like, how it's going. He talks about the weather, because we love that. He's just very warm, and he always says hi. I was like, I need some of that. I need some of that. I would just go to my sister-in-law and be like, hey, can I walk Ada? But I feel like I was cheating on my dog. Just walk yourself. That's so fair. I should be walking myself. Yeah, what if I come back from my solo walk and I've pet a bunch of dogs? And she's like, what the fuck? Where were you? You could walk the kid. The kid doesn't need to be walked. The kid walks herself. My child is not sedentary, dude. Yeah. I'll just put a little leash on my kid. Be like, let's go. Yeah, this is the one that the handle broke on. Shattered. It's okay. I need to just take a file and just kind of grind these because they're kind of sharp. I need to just grind these down. Still using it. I thought you had 1,000 mugs, but it's so cute. Why would I get rid of it when it's still a perfectly good mug? No, the ones that I have to, like, unfortunately figure out a whole new thing for are the ones that get, like, a crack, you know, along the actual holds liquid part. Yeah, when this happened, somebody was like, I hope you kept that. You could kintsugi it. Shattered, gang. Shattered, guys. This isn't like, ah, shit. The handle is in 2 pieces. Shattered. It got to shreds, you say. It got fucked up, man. My mom is a porcelain restorer. Really? What a cool job. Ow. She would have made you a new handle. I feel like no matter what, maybe if I went to a person who was like, this is literally my job, it would be different. But like, I can't imagine adding a handle onto this and trusting it ever again. Be like, it is attached, but I'm worried it's going to just pop right off, you know? And I'd wind up just still holding it like this with the handle sticking out. Like, don't worry about it. My cousin has a collection of like 50 different Moomin ones. I was looking on Etsy because there's some like older Moomin mugs that have been discontinued, and I was like, I wonder if there are people who are selling them, and there are, and some of them are so funny. Like, why did they make that? The stinky ones specifically are so funny. I'm like, I want every stinky mug. Because they look so weird. Like, I had to stop buying my mom mugs. Clark asked what I wanted for Mother's Day, and I was like, you could get me a mug. And then I was like, that's a joke. Don't get me a mug, please. Don't get me a mug. I have so many. Clark is in a weird, like, she's wanting to watch shows that she watched when she was pretty little. She's been rewatching every episode of Ben and Holly's Little Kingdom. I didn't think we'd ever watch that show again. And for some reason, we're back in. Ben and Holly's Little Kingdom shares nearly every single voice actor with Peppa Pig. So if you've ever seen an episode of Peppa Pig, you've heard every voice actor that is in Ben and Holly's Little Kingdom. And if you're watching clips of Ben and Holly's Little Kingdom, it will eventually be like, maybe you want to watch some Peppa Pig. And I had just the other morning said to Sam, I find it so funny that she's watching Ben and Holly's Little Kingdom, but not Peppa Pig. And he was like, well, maybe she realizes Peppa Pig sucks, you know. But then he was like, well, it's also, she loves fairies. So why wouldn't, you know, if she was going to go on a nostalgia binge, why not do the one that's about elves and fairies, right? She'll enjoy that. And I came downstairs that morning, and Clark was like, can I watch Peppa? Yes, you can. Yeah, of course you can. And you know why? Because I've almost locked in this frickin' one shot, and I needed a little bit of inspo. So I was like, yes, you can, honey. And I'm also gonna watch it with you. And I hate myself. I pitched my concept to OLG, and she thinks it's amazing. Maybe I shouldn't say amazing. She thinks it's great, though. So I'm glad about that. I just need to iron some stuff out. Amazing is the bar. Oh no. Retract that state. Yeah. OLG typing to me frantically. Excuse me, please don't misrepresent me. What she actually said was, and I'm gonna bleep out what the concept is. She said, oh my fucking God, a blank is genius in all caps. So I don't feel like I misrepresented her that much. She was pitching a system called Slug Blaster. Wait, and this is why I messaged her. Hold on. Let me find it. She said, I played this TTRPG tonight called Slug Blaster. It's fucking hilarious. Basically, you're a gang of shitty teens who can travel interdimensionally, and you're trying to like do sick tricks and go viral. She said it was like insanely fun. Slug Blaster is great. It's about interspace travel and skateboarding teens. Someone in chat agrees. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Y'all give me the weirdest shit to play and I love it. Yeah, man, it's fun. Now that the weather's better, I'm starting to think of reasons to invite people to my house again. It's harder when it is like murky outside. My kid has her birthday, so there's that. But after that, I'm like, I also think my mom, so where my mom and dad live in the desert, they live right next to, literally, right next to my aunt and uncle, and my cousin lives in another house in the same cul-de-sac. They're literally just all right there. So they love to like just get together and do stuff. And I have been daydreaming about a group of people that I could do like a Lego party with, like get like a small Lego set, like the same one for everybody, and just be like, everybody sit and hang out and do Lego. My mom is really into like projects or activities that are like good for your brain and make you think in different ways, you know. So I was like, I feel like this would be an easy sell. She's gonna watch this later and text me. But I feel like this would be an easy sell to be like, I'm gonna get a few of the same little Lego set. And we'll pick a day while we're out there, and I think everybody should just hang out and do Lego. My kid would love it. So like, you know, everybody would get involved. Didn't you have weekly IRL coffee dates last year? No. I invited people over and made coffee twice, I think. I'd like to do that more. The place where I get gummed up is like most people that I know that I want to like invite over don't know each other. And so you have to do this kind of like mental math of like, okay, if I invite this person over, do I just want that person, or am I hoping to like have a few people, in which case who do I think I could invite that would chit chat well, you know? So like both of the times that I had people over last time, they were parents that I got along with really well, and we invited them and their kid. So all of the kids played in the yard while we all just kind of like hung out. And that made it easy, right? Because our kids go to the same school, so everyone at least knew of each other. But like my singing teacher, right? I get along with my singing teacher so well, and I haven't seen her in a while, but we had said forever ago, like, oh my gosh, at some point it would be so fun for you to like come to the farm, you know, when the weather's nice, and just like chill and have a bite to eat or a coffee or something. So I'm like, okay, so if I invited her, it could either just be her, or she's very outgoing. She loves to meet new people. So like I could invite other people, but who? Like mixing people together is dicey, because I don't want too many people. I'm not a hostess, you know. But I want people to be able to like chat. I don't know. Yeah. Last time we had one person that was trying to like bring up some really heavy topics while everyone was just like hanging. And Dave came. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot about this. Dave was there. Dave was there, and he was doing such a good job of being like, yeah, absolutely. You know what? That actually reminds me of, and like just so effortlessly swapping into a different thing. And I was like, oh, thank God for Dave. Thank God for Dave, dude. Because, you know, I'm not going to shy away from a heavy topic, but when it's like, here are 5 different adults who don't talk to each other that often, it's like, I don't know if this is the time. I don't think this is the time for this conversation. Dave and I could talk about that shit later, right? But like not now in this situation. Meanwhile, the kids are like playing hide and seek and getting pissed because one of them's cheating. It's like, I'm sorry. I can't engage on like a deep personal level with you right now. When every few seconds a child is like, so-and-so is cheating, right? Like, Kay Lauren, thank you so much. Welcome to the Cat Gang. Appreciate it. I hope you're having a lovely day. I had a friend do that, invited him to a family barbecue, and he started bearing his soul. Oh. It's hard because you want people to feel like they can be vulnerable, but in a setting with a bunch of people, it's hard to make sure that everyone is like cared for, you know? Does that make sense? Like, I'm down to chat with you about this. I'm so glad that you feel comfortable talking about this, but also I can't give you the care that you need right now in this setting, right? This situation right now. And also this is adding another variable of like, I'm also now considering whether or not this topic is potentially like triggering to another person here, right? Like if it was to me, we could talk about that in a one-on-one. It's, you know, like it's hard. It's hard because you don't want to like punish a person for like being open about stuff, but how do you in the moment be like, we can't do this right now? You know, it's hard. That's hard for sure. I feel like the times in my life that has happened have been when alcohol is involved, unfortunately. When someone got a little too like loosey-goosey. Alcohol, yeah. IRL mods. have a IRL party moderator that's just like off to the side. that just kind of like filters around and listens out for situations where a person might need like a, you doing okay? This conversation is actually reminding me I need to go to the boys and be like, hello, by the way, you're all invited to Clark's birthday. She invites them every year. It's very cute. Usually the only person who's free is Dave. But Dave has come to like 2 birthday parties in a row, which is very cute. Yeah. Dave is definitely a show up friend. It's lovely. Pretty much any time we're like, yeah, there's this thing, there's no pressure, you know, but if you want to come, feel free. He almost always shows up. It's amazing. Yeah, very reliable boy. Yeah, I aspire to be more like Dave too. We were going over the Nana Papa rules. I try to always make sure that we have like because, you know, she doesn't go to my mom and dad's house more than once a year. So I try to, every time we're going to be going, have the conversation that's like, so, you know, every house has different rules. Remember, some things that are totally fine in our house are not okay at Nana Papa's house. So let's go over the rules. And she knows them so well now. It's great. Like, I love that you're old enough now that she's like, don't jump on the couch. Don't run on the couch. Don't even walk on the couch. You know, put your napkin on your lap when you're eating dinner. Ask to be excused when you're done with dinner, right? Like just like little things that my parents have always had rules about, even when I was a kid. And I think it's good, you know, I think that it's a really important lesson that to know your audience, right? to, depending on where you are and who you're with, whose home you're in, that you learn their rules and you follow them, right? You can go home and complain about them later if you want to. That's fine. But like, yeah, oh my gosh. Are your folks the type to have a sitting room? No. We've never had a house that was big enough to have a sitting room. No, there's a living room. There's a living room. The room that has the couch and the TV. Are you a shoe-off house or some kind of barbarian? So, I grew up in a shoes-on house. Our house is a combination of the two, to be honest. Sometimes we're in and out from outside so many times that I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking take my shoes off, okay? So really, our house is on the bottom floor. If you want to walk around in your shoes, who gives a shit, right? We're in and out too much. I don't care, but don't go upstairs with your shoes on. Those are our rules, right? Both of my parents are old, and they don't like slippers. They don't like house shoes, right? They just feel more comfortable walking around in like supportive shoes. So that's never going to change. And that's fine. Multi-class barbarian. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. We went to one of Clark's friends' house, and it was the first time that they had the exact same rule. They were like, yeah, dude, my kids are like running out into the yard and then running back in and then running back out in the yard. I'm not going to tell them to take their shoes off. I was like, that's how we are. Like, I'm not going to bother. It's fine. I'll just vacuum later. I don't care. It's okay. But yeah, but they took their shoes off before they went upstairs. I was like, this is exactly how our house is. Shoes off. Coming in and taking your shoes off at the entryway is more normal in the United Kingdom, I think. Yeah. I had a friend whose parents were very affluent, and they had a really fancy, like, sitting room. And I never once saw a person sitting in there. And I was like, what a waste. What a waste, dude. I can't imagine. I'd turn that into something else, surely. I just don't get it. Like, you got the dosh. Just put a grand piano in there or something. Like, pretend that it's for something else other than sitting. You already have a totally different room that people choose to sit in, you know? Basically, sometimes when people have a lot of extra space, they'll have, like, the room that has the TV and a couch that's kind of a bit more, like, cash. And then they'll have the sitting room, and it's, like, nicer, like, seats and couches and whatever, and everything is facing inward. So it's like we all sit and we have a conversation here. But in most modern homes, people don't use that, right? So yeah, my in-laws had, like, kind of two living rooms. They lived in an old school, so it had a bunch of, like, weird off rooms. And so there were two little rooms on the ground floor, and they were both sort of set up as living rooms. But both rooms were used all the time. because there were so many kids. So like pretty much every time I came over before I moved out here, there was somebody in one room, somebody in the other, right? I really think it was the best call to just turn them both into living rooms because, or like just, you know, just like hang out, like comfy rooms, because Sam and his siblings get on each other's nerves so fucking quickly. And it's kind of like, okay, if two people want to be just chilling downstairs, but they're pissed at each other right now, there's options. There's options. Why waste a perfectly good Lego room for sitting? Yeah. Yeah, you get it. Well, so Sam is the eldest of 5, and there are 7, 8 cousins. So like him and his siblings, including our kid, there's like 8 little kids in the family, right? So yeah, it used to get crazy there. They live here at the farm with us now, but before they sold that house, if it was a day when people got invited over, it was nuts. Absolute bedlam. Yeah, Clark and I have been talking about that a lot because she's now decided actually she does want the bigger bedroom that we tried to offer her when we moved into the house, right? So I was like, well, at this point now, we might, because you're already like locked into that other room, we might as well scour this one, right? Like get everything out of it, replace the carpet. You know, if you want to do something different with the walls, do something with the walls before we move all of your furniture in. But we were like, we also could just put, because currently her room is too small for any of her toys to be in there. So her room is like, this is the room she begged for, okay? We talked about putting her in the bigger room and she sobbed about it, okay? So her bedroom currently can hold her bed and a hanging rack for her clothes and a bookshelf. And that's all that fits in there, really. And she insisted on pain of death that that was the room she wanted. But as foretold, now that she's getting bigger, she's like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. This room is so small and I can't have any of my toys in here, dude. I was like, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this, I know. Sobbed, yes. Because when we moved in, she was 4. And that was the room she wanted. And we were like, we really think we should put you in this bigger room, baby, so your toys can be in there too. And she had a full meltdown about it. Smaller room, less to clean. Alternatively, smaller room so the floor gets covered in shit within 5 minutes. Alternatively, smaller room looks dirty the second you're awake. And it's fine, right? I was like, that's fine. If this is the room that you want, we're not going to make you go into the other room. And maybe it was like a safety thing. Maybe she just felt safer in the smaller room. It's fine. We just knew... We just knew eventually she was going to want the bigger room. And we wanted her to have the bigger room because she's the other person who lives here all the time. And she should have more space. She should have room to grow, right? This other room should be the room with cat stuff in it, or, you know. Anyways, we've come around now, and she agrees that the bigger room would be nice. It's a room that she could be in comfortably the whole time she lives with us, right? Like, as long as she would like to live with us, it's a nice big room that she can do whatever she wants with. But yeah, we were like, okay, so if all of your toys are in here, then the place where we've currently got the toys, we could just put a gigantic craft table in there. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. We just put all of our craft shit in there. Mm-hmm. A room for Peach. Nothing for Peach can be upstairs. She refuses to learn how to use the stairs, which I think is fine, because it's not great for her to go up and downstairs anyway, like physically. So I'm kind of grateful that she never learned, because that's one of the things that they're like, absolutely under no circumstances, once they have TPLO surgery, let them go up and downstairs. No. So I'm kind of like, thank God. She doesn't even know. She doesn't even know how. I want a tinkering room. Yeah, I just think like the room that the toys are in right now, basically we just have like a long living room, and so half of it is toys and half of it is couch. Right? Half is couch, half is toys. And I'm like, but if toys gone, then could put table in, and then just need to figure out the best way to like have craft supplies out, which is something I think about all the time. We were talking about this like a week ago, I think. Also gives kitties their own space to retreat to. Yes. Oh my God. If you are getting a dog and you want to like section off areas, you don't have stairs or whatever, like there aren't natural ways to like separate the dog and cats, and you want the cats to be able to escape the dog. I cannot recommend enough. We got a baby gate that has a cat door. Shut up. It depends on how big the dog is, but like our dog from puppyhood could not go through this door. It was too small for her. And how big the cat is. When we got it, Sherlock was still gigantic, and he fit through it just fine. Can't the cats jump over the gate? Mine don't. No. Mine have never jumped over a baby gate. But if you want to rely on that, go for it. It's great. I've used it in like 4 different places at this point now, and it's awesome. Currently, because we have to address the pooping situation with Sherlock, we have a litter box upstairs and a litter box downstairs. The downstairs litter box is in the laundry room. And so we just always have the laundry room door open with the baby gate, and the cats can go in and use the litter box, and the dog can't get in there. It's great. Clearly, for some of you, it wouldn't make any sense. Getting some pushback in chat. But if this sounds like it would make sense for you. Yeah, the dog can't eat the cat poop out of the litter box, which is ideal, okay? Yeah, I don't know. For whatever reason, both of our cats would rather die than jump on anything. Watson comes into the kitchen. She can jump on the counter perfectly fine. I see her do it all the time. But if there's a person in there, she'll come over and go, meow, 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 and just wait for you to pick her up. She's like, I'm a baby. I'm just a little girl. How am I supposed to get up there? And Sherlock's old. He's an ancient man and he doesn't want to jump. He doesn't want to jump anymore. As is his right. I agree. He shouldn't have to jump anymore, dude. Fortunately, he and Peach get along fine now. They can coexist just fine. Sometimes he even lets Peach lick his little head, and it's really cute. But she does it so tentatively. Like, she'll sniff at him. Like, she's trying not to spook him. She'll sniff at him. She'll lick his head. And then they'll make eye contact. And she'll jump away really suddenly. Like, don't hit me. Because their whole early relationship was Sherlock coming over, smacking her in the face with his paw, and then leaving. Sherlock is 16-ish. And Watson is 9-ish. So they're both senior cats. I think anything above 7 counts as a senior cat. But Sherlock is like, he's an old man. He's an old man. Most cats don't live past 20. 20 is kind of, I think, the like upper limit for cats. My family cat lived to like 22. I had a cat reach 25. Damn, that's crazy. Yeah, it's just nuts thinking about, like, I've had Sherlock in my life for like 14 years or something. Seven's a senior cat, but they can live for another 10 plus years. I know. Yeah, I don't know what determines that. I don't know why they're like, yeah, this is an old cat now. I guess in the same way that, like, once somebody hits 50, for some reason in your mind, you're like, oh, that's like an older person now. Not an old person, but an older person. Yeah, they said, because I got Sherlock from a shelter, and they said he was like 1-ish. Or sometimes 30 is old. Yeah. No, tell me why, like, it felt like Sherlock had so much health stuff going on. And I sort of mentally prepared for him to not live for a super long time. He's still kicking, dude. Yeah, I like to think so. That he's had a nice life with me. And every morning at 4 a.m. he comes into my bedroom and goes, "Wake up, bitch, I'm hungry." And I go, "No, go away." I haven't been on in a super long time. I was so glad to hear his name. I remember you mentioning health problems ages ago, and I remember when you got Watson too. Yeah. So they're both still going for it. Watson, health-wise, is perfectly fine. She's just rude. And in her senior cat era has decided that if she's dissatisfied with something, she's going to find a thing to pee on, which drives me crazy. We never had any pee problems with her at all. And then suddenly she started peeing on stuff, and I took her to the vet, and they were like, "This is behavioral. I'm so sorry." It's like, no. How did we get so far in? How did we get so far in? All right. Well, okay. So yeah, now anytime she's dissatisfied, you can imagine the stress I felt when we got a dog. I was like, this cat's going to be peeing on everything. She's going to be so mad. Anyways. She's jealous of Clark. In the last like couple of years. I mean, Clark's almost 7. If she was going to be pissed about Clark, that should have happened a while ago, I think. But anyway, yeah, Watson's fine. She's just a piss criminal, as somebody put it in chat. And Sherlock has a bunch of little tumors, unfortunately. He has one that specifically presses up against his kidneys and makes him shit evil all the time. My sweet boy. So... But yeah, just, you know, we were given the options, and I made the call that we wouldn't pursue any, like, treatment for the tumors. He's already super old, and any treatment that he was going to undergo is going to affect his quality of life too much. And I'd rather that he was just happy and at home, and, you know, he's on steroids now that sort of, like, help with the pain and things, but yeah. And you know, he's a sassy old cat. Bless him. He do the big poopy. He does the big poopy, yeah. Oh, goodness. And then there's Peach. And Peach doesn't seem to be growing anymore. I think she's just gonna floof. She doesn't seem to be getting any taller, any, like, bigger. So she's actually wound up being pretty small. I think she's like the perfect size for us. I'm glad she's not bigger, to be honest. She might still get bigger, but like if she stays this size, if she wants to just do this, if her hair wants to just get fluffy, great. Yeah, she's a Samoyed. Has it been hard to groom her? Were you here when I showed the grooming picture? I can do it again. My sweet girl. This is what it's like every day when I brush her. My sweet girl. Bark, 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 she says. Yeah. Her undercoat's coming out and it's crazy. Every day. Every day. It doesn't look like much of her fur has grown back from being shaved. It's only been a month. No, it's, I mean, it definitely looks different. This dog will not stop barking the second the vacuum's on. I'm not doing the high velocity dryer, dude. She does great at the groomer. She can go to the groomer. The only reason I'm like trying to help brush out her undercoat every single day right now is because she had surgery. She can't go to the groomer. You know, in like another month we can book her in and get the last of that coat out, but I'm not gonna make her stand on a grooming table right now. Yeah, she and Clarky are great. When we first got her, you know, puppies are little sharks and their teeth hurt so bad. It takes a while for them to learn how to be gentle. So we had the classic situation of Clark getting bit, sobbing, and then begging for us to take her back because she didn't want her anymore. And we were like, honey, it doesn't matter what puppy we have. This is what's gonna happen, right? Like, we have to teach her. She's a baby. At this point now, they love each other. They love each other. When Clark comes home from school, Peach wants to like run to the car to greet her. Clark spends like 15 minutes every night saying goodnight to Peach. It's really cute. They have a great relationship now. But yeah, at the start, it was like, this dog keeps hurting me and I hate it, you know? I hear older dogs are better for younger kids. So we heard two things, right? Yeah, older dogs can be better. But if you're willing to like put in the work, not that this is the better call, just that it's more work. Puppies that are raised around a lot of little kids are going to be good around little kids their whole lives, most likely. They have to learn how to be gentle really quickly. Peach learned really fast. Like, if I do this, that thing screams. Right? She's learned very quickly. And there are so many little kids in this family. She's really good with all of them now. She doesn't jump on them. She doesn't bite at them. She's really gentle with everybody, and she's not even a year old yet. So it's wound up being good for for us. Yes, I agree. I honestly think that Peach is better behaved when little kids are around because she's more on high alert. Like, I got to make sure that I don't fuck up here. Right? Like, I got to make sure that I don't get too riled up around the wrong human. Because I don't want to hurt anybody and get screamed, you know, like I don't want any of that. Our big thing now, I think, is going to be the nails. One of us, it's gonna be me. One of us has to learn how to clip her nails. Because she's scratchy. She's scratchy. Again, I'm sure she could get used to something that's loud, but everything in the house right now that's loud, she barks at nonstop and runs away from. So, why's it gotta be you? It doesn't have to be me. I just know it's going to be me. I don't know how to say this without it being a slam on myself. I'm a control freak about stuff like that. I trust myself to be really careful with it because I have clipped the cat's nails for so long, and Peach's nails are more clear. They're not black. So I feel like I have a better idea of what to look for. I've looked at her nails a lot, and I think I'll have an easier time learning how to do it. Fucking geese. The geese are screaming at something. I don't know if you can hear it. Yeah, this isn't like I don't trust Sam to do it. Nothing like that. This is one of those things that feels like it's in my wheelhouse, and I will be nervous letting somebody else do it. So I will wind up doing it. Mm-hmm. I volunteer to do it if I get to play with the puppy after. It's like, if a pill needs to be shoved down an animal's throat, I'll normally do that. Because sadly, I've done it a lot. Growing up on a farm lends itself to these things. That's true. Yeah. There's some things that got very normalized for me growing up, I think. My cat's on antibiotics right now. The other day I tried shoving it down her throat and she did not allow it. I gave it to her on top of a piece of cheese and she just ate it. I had overcomplicated things for myself. Yeah. It's nice when they're down to just eat it. Yeah. We had such a hard, I have never had as hard of a time as I did trying to give Peach her medicine. Bro. It was so bad. And we had so many pills we had to give her. Whoever it was that was like, you know what we do is we grind up the pills and then mix them with water, the amount of water that fits into a syringe, and then just suck all of it up with the water. That was honestly a lifesaver. An absolute lifesaver, because then it wasn't, I'm so sorry, Peach, we're gonna hold you and shove like 6 pills down your throat, half of which you're gonna spit out. Instead it was, I'm gonna shoot this liquid down your throat super fast and then give you something really nice to eat after. And it was so much easier. God. Yeah, I think the problem was the antibiotics specifically smelled really strongly. So I was trying to look up, like, how do I disguise the smell of the pills? Because I was, like, washing my hands, trying to make sure that the pill smell wasn't on me so that I could just give her the food and she wouldn't be suspicious. But she could always smell it, no matter what I added it to. And she just wouldn't eat it. Once she was done with the antibiotics, we were fine. Once it was just like light painkiller in the afternoon, you know, sort of shit, could grind that up and mix it with food and it was fine. But like, I feel blessed. I can just wrap basically any pill in a piece of thin ham and my dog will instantly consume it. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I wish. I wish. Yeah, we tried the oil thing. We tried cod liver oil and salmon oil because we had both. God, we tried everything I could think of. The only way that we could get her to take it without at some point tasting it and then refusing to eat the rest or spitting the pill out if it was a whole pill. It was just to shoot it down her throat with a syringe. So whatever works, you know? Just know that if you have an easier time than that, I'm very jealous. Sherlock will literally just sit there and let me go boink and just put the pill down his throat and he swallows it and looks at me like, thanks. You know? Some people online were getting their dogs to eat pills by dropping them and then pretending to try and stop the dog from eating off the floor. That's really funny. Peach isn't super food motivated, I think, is the problem. We've dropped stuff on the floor before and just casually bent down to grab it, and she has not even tried to eat it. Sherlock's a senior citizen. He won't fuss over meds. It's true. Oh my God, yeah. Sam holding her mouth shut so she would just swallow the pill because she had spit the same pill out 4 times. Felt so bad. I was like, hasn't she been through enough? Like, this surgery had to have been so traumatic. Like, I feel so bad for her. And we're having to shove all these pills down her throat. So blessed that there was a different option. Anyways, we don't have to keep talking about shoving pills down people's throats. Nasty. Peach is too smart. She's always like kind of on guard. I don't want it to sound like we have created like a stressful living situation for her, but like whenever you like call for her or like reach out for her, she has this look on her face like, what are you trying to do right now? You know? What's the food you're looking most forward to when you get stateside? Bro, I want some Taco Bell, and then I want some like actual Mexican food. Both. They're not the same. I want both. Really bad. Free, I completely agree. We drove all the way out to a Taco Bell because we were like, oh my God, there's Taco Bells out here now. The closest one is like 40 minutes away, but let's do it, right? Let's commit to have some Taco Bell. It didn't taste the same. It was really sad. And we had to wait in line for so long. We were like, man. Yeah, it doesn't taste the same, unfortunately. We tried going to McDonald's in the US and it was awful compared to Europe. You know what's funny is I don't really taste the difference. But you know who does? My child. She hates US McDonald's. I'm not gonna argue about that. You know? I find it very interesting though. Yeah. I want Taco Bell. I want some Mexican food. I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to find... Well, when we're in LA, though. Probably not while we're in Palm Desert. But when we're in Los Angeles, I will want ramen. 100%. Wish we had Jersey Mike's in the UK. Same. What the fuck? Why can't we just have a good sub sandwich place out here? Like, what's the hang up? Why can't they figure it out here? Close your ears, English people. What the fuck is wrong with them? Why can't they figure out how to make a good sub sandwich? It's blowing my mind. What's the difference? The bread? The toppings? The bread. So This sounds like a really simple thing, but it makes all the difference in the world for me. At Subway in America, it's not as good as Jersey Mike's, but it's similar. At Subway in America, at the end of making the sandwich, you can say, if they're like, do you want a sauce? Instead, you can say, I want salt, pepper, oil, vinegar. And they'll just put oil, balsamic vinegar, salt, and pepper on there. And it's great. And I've tried to do that here and they won't do it. They don't have it ready to go as like a topping for a sandwich. At Jersey Mike's, you can get your sandwich Mike's way, which is all the toppings and then essentially salt, pepper, oil, vinegar, and like a seasoning that's all mixed up and put on top. And it's so fucking good. And you might be like, Dodger, just get a sandwich and then go home and put salt, pepper, oil, vinegar on it yourself. No! I just want a place to make it for me. I want them to make it for me so I can shove it in my mouth. Anyways. It's the wrong juice. They got the wrong juice out here is the problem. The wrong Sammy juice. Yeah. You're telling me I gotta take this sandwich home? You're telling me I gotta bring some pocket vinegar with me? No. Come on. You woke up my mom. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Ooh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. I should have a flask and I'll put a ratio of oil and vinegar in there. I'll just keep it. I'll just keep it on me all the time. Pip doesn't even flinch at Loud Dodger anymore. OLG, we were talking about you earlier. I was saying that you suggested a TTRPG and I was Slug Blaster, right? I was pitching it. Sounds like a Subway problem more than a UK problem. I guess what I'm trying to say the UK problem is that sandwich shops, where are they? If you don't want to go to Subway, sandwich shops that make a sub sandwich the way that I want it, they're not here. I could go to a cafe and get a weird little English sandwich. No, thank you. That's not what I want. This came up because y'all were asking me what I wanted to eat when I came to America, and it made me think about sub sandwiches, okay? And then somebody was like, I wish there were Jersey Mike's out here. And I was like, I know, dude. The sandwich shops are different, and they aren't prevalent the way that they're in America, in my opinion. In my opinion. But you did give me cream cheese and cucumber sandwiches. And for that, I will be forever grateful. Because Lord knows, we always got cucumber in the fridge, and we always got cream cheese. And I love that shit. So thank you for that. Thanks for that. I appreciate it. How's the savory oatmeal journey going? You know what's funny? So I pitched the savory oatmeal to Jesse. I talked with y'all about the savory oatmeal. For the most part, people are like, okay. So I went to Sam and I was like, I want you to be, as my partner, as my sweet love, I want you to be totally honest with me. How did you feel about the savory oatmeal? And he was like, I mean, it was fine. My brain the whole time was thinking, it's weird that this isn't sweet. I think I prefer it sweet. It was weird that it was savory, but it tasted fine. And I was like, okay. So now I know that next time I make it, it's all for me, baby. That's just fine with me, dude. But also that tells me that like it's not going to be for everybody. I loved it though. Like really loved it. I think if it even remotely sounds interesting to you, you should try it. So as a refresher, so I made it in the rice cooker. I cooked it on the normal rice setting for 10 minutes. I cooked it in a 1-to-1 ratio, 1 cup of long grain rice, not long grain rice. What the fuck am I talking about? 1 cup of oats, 1 cup of oats to 1 cup of broth, and then splashed in some soy sauce. Cooked it for 10 minutes, and then I wanted spinach in there too. So I took a cube of frozen spinach and I threw it in there and closed it back up again and let it sit for another 5 minutes and let the spinach just kind of like, you know, heat up enough that it could be stirred in. And then I topped it with a runny egg and it was delicious. It was so good. And then I put the leftovers in the fridge. And the next day added a little bit of hot water from the kettle to like reconstitute it, and then nuked it in the microwave for a minute. And it was great on day 2. It's like, bro, is this my new meal prep? Because I would eat this every morning. I'm not a sweet morning food person. So I was like, I could be having savory oatmeal every morning. Girl. I also added chili oil to the reheated. Fuck, it was so good. It was so good, dude. I just think you should try it. That's all. That sounds like gruel. What counts as gruel? In my mind, gruel isn't a specific thing. It's just food slop, which you could argue all porridge is. Milkshake is a gruel. I like this new version of what counts as a soup. What counts as gruel exactly? Soaked oats, spices, and a little gravy. It's gruel then. I mean, there's no gravy on there, but it's sure. If you want to call it gruel, that's fine. Runny egg is too fancy for gruel. I was sitting while the eggs were cooking, I was sitting next to the rice cooker just taking huge bites of the oats because I tasted it to make sure that it wasn't terrible before I made the eggs. And I was like, what the fuck? That's so good. The egg is not necessary. It's so good just on its own, I think. It's not that I think savory oats won't taste nice. It's more that I'm too scared to try it. Fair enough. We eat so much oatmeal, so much porridge in this house, that I was like, it's time for a change up, dude. It's time for a switch up, and it paid off big time. Brother, may I have some oats? Oats are also a classic stretch for ground beef. I've never used oats. We use lentils a lot. Our store, our local like grocery store, a couple times a year we'll just have gigantic bags of lentils for super sale, and I always snag them. Could you make it without a rice cooker? Yeah. I just decided to try using the rice cooker. What I was most worried about was the texture, because oats are one of those weird things where depending on how you cook them and what you cook them in, their texture will change so drastically. But I loved it. I loved it, dude. It was so good. I want some now. We need to stop talking about this. Yeah, there's a command. You can do !animals or animal, and it'll give you a big list. I'm not watching a ton of stuff. No. We finished up. What is that show called? What is that show called? With the guy? The show with the guy. The anime with the guy. And he's a baby boy. Solo Leveling. Thank you. We watched Solo Leveling. And Sakamoto Days. Which is alright. The stakes are so low in Sakamoto Days. It doesn't, you know. Yeah, the guy anime. I don't watch any TV by myself. So if I'm gonna watch anime, it's usually with Sam. So we choose stuff that we're gonna watch together. I just don't enjoy watching any TV by myself anymore, really. That happens in waves, but currently I don't like watching things alone. So yeah, I don't know. I've really gone off of TV. Like just watching stuff in general, I don't enjoy very much. So yeah, Sam and I watch stuff together, and that's pretty much it. And that's like once a week that we sit down together and watch stuff. So I don't really keep up with anything anymore now. I make plans with, like, the new Severance season came out. So like Summer and Amanda and them, all of us, we've been talking about like getting on a call and watching it together. But like, I haven't heard of Medalist, no. You excited for Eurovision? I've never watched Eurovision. Medalist is so cute. Look it up. What time is it? Okay, I gotta go in a sec. Anime summaries are really bad at like explaining what a show is a lot of the time. It's an ice skating show, it looks like. Yeah? A second medalist. It's my top show of the season. Interesting. It doesn't... In the same way that you start eating food with your eyes before it hits your mouth, this is not something that visually I would have any interest in watching. But if it's apparently very good, I will give it a shot. The AI slop anime summaries. Is that the problem? Are all of them written by AI? These two share a dream, and their tenacity may be the only thing that sees them through. Their destination, the ice. I like it. Not the ice, bro. You gotta take this seriously, dude. Oh, goodness. Anywho. Yeah. I think, I'm gonna head out. I told Sam that I wanted to look through all of the like planned stream stuff for while I'm gone and put up a proper like, here are the streams that I plan on doing while I'm gone. Keep in mind that I will be gone for 14 days. So it's a full 2 weeks away in America. So there will be some streams here and there, but I won't be here consistently for those 2 weeks. I will mostly, full disclosure, be doing sponsored streams because I, for some reason, got offered a bunch of stuff. And I was like, I guess so. Sure. I guess I'll do some little sponsored things while I'm gone. Sure. Assuming that the internet holds up and is all right. And if it's not, then I guess I'll let them know. But, oh no, the ads. We'll pause until the ads are done. In the meantime, I'll read the activity feed super quick while that's going on. Pigeon Studios Pete, thank you for the 16 months. Exit thank you for all the gifted subs. I missed those. Welcome to the Cat Gang. Everybody that was gifted a sub today, make sure you check who gave it to you and say thank you. Killer Wombat, thank you for the 30 months. Hazrar for the 96. Puppy Boy Coded, thank you for the 63. Sir Chunks for the gifted subs as well. Thank you. PZN for the 98. Dor Lucas for the 88, Ampsand for the 121, KH Fan for the 23, Ape Raw for the 81, Tarnished Valor for the 30, K Lauren, thank you again for subscribing, Walnut for the 123, Steinke for the 86, Aroboron for the 90, Bloodfire for the 107, and Frakmal for the 85. Thank you guys, I appreciate it. Do we know what's happening with Sunforged? So, hold on. It's a minute and a half of ads still. Talking about ads and then preempted by ads. I know, it's rude, really. Yeah, we'll just do this for 60 more seconds. You know how it is. I can feel my eyes start to unfocus the second I start trying to do a goof like this. I don't know how people manage to like keep their eyes still. Because the second I'm like, I'm just going to freeze. Like I feel my eyes blur. Do you know what I mean? Oh my God, all the animals are going crazy outside. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody. Okay, to answer the questions that were asked, Geekenders will still be happening, apparently. I told Jesse that I was down to show up for Geekenders, but he would have to run it, so that's up to him. And then Sunforged, I will not be on. I'll be on it tonight, and then I won't be there for 2 weeks. But Sunforged will still be happening. I just won't be on it. So there you go. That's it. I think. Yeah. I'm going to be in the desert with my parents and then going to LA for a baby shower. It's my mom's birthday. Should be good. I'm very excited to see everybody because I don't know, it's been a while. It's been a long time, feels like. So yeah, thank you all so much for being here. We already did the activity feed. Let me find someone for us to go say hi to. Let's go say hi to Happy Chef. There we go. All right. Thank you all so much. I'll see you on the flip side. I'll see you in America. Wild. But as always, I appreciate you guys very much. I'll see you next time. Okay? Bye-bye, gang.